So just get started?
Sure.
Okay.
Be ready.
Hi. Thank you for having me. Hi, everyone. I'm Stephanie Gomez. I'm the library director. Today, I'm kind of just going to give you an overview of the library resources and some of the research that you're going to be doing for your policy analysis. But first, I kind of just want to start with just the library website itself and our resources. So I'm going to share my screen. Let's hope this all works. Share. Okay, you should see this. Okay, I'm going to go to the Kresman Library website. You can see here. Okay, and see, this is our catalog. You can search our catalog there. But I'm going to take you into our library services. So something you can do and you might need as you go along on this project is some help. Someone to point the right direction or someone to actually sit with you and talk. So you can email us a research question. You can also chat with us. Do you see how this came out? You can chat with us and we can even move to a Zoom meeting if it makes things easier. You can also make an appointment. And so we can make a Zoom appointment and meet virtually, or we can meet at the library, taking precautions, of course. And you can see here, you borrow books, you can request to purchase, interlibrary loan, and course reserves. So some professors are keeping course reserves here. And so you can go in here and find them. They're all digital. Of course, we don't have any physical reserves, and that's why we created this. I'm going to go back to the library website and going to go into databases A to Z and show you this is all the databases that we have. And then if you go to here, because that can be a little bit unwieldy to go through all of these databases, this will be easier. You can come down here to social work and then some librarian. One of us has made a list of the databases that are most relevant to social work research. Now that doesn't mean it's going to be exclusive, so you will want to look outside of this most probably, but it will help you get started. Okay, gonna go back out. Keep on going back to the front page so they can kind of see the process as we move through it. Here's the research guides. So these are basically websites that librarians make on specific topics. So we have one here that's a research guide for social work. That is going to be very helpful for you with tons of resources. So finding books, finding ebooks, this Encyclopedia of Social Work especially, you're going to want to come back to that over and over again. Finding articles, you see the databases here and also specific journals. And I also want to take you over here. So social work, you can see your class. Now, these are just some of the links that I'm going to show you today, some of the websites to do your project, but you have them here. Now, I haven't added the descriptions yet, but there is this list here so you can come back to it. So it's on the research guide, the social work research guide, so you can come back here to this. Okay. I'm going to move on to, so you have this analysis that's due. And the first question here is list the stated objectives of the program. So you're going to want to go to assistance listing. So this used to be the catalog of federal domestic assistance, but it has changed its name somewhat recently. But a lot of what you're going to find is on this website. And so you're going to really want to take note of this, beta.sam.gov. I'd want to go back to the very beginning of it though. So you can see how to get through it. So if you come to here, beta.sam.gov, this is the front page. And you come down to federal assistance, search assistant listings, and then the search box is up here. So I have chosen, I have chosen the Children's Health Insurance Program as the way that I kind of work through this information. I'm a social sciences person, but I've never done policy research. So this has been a really good learning experience. But you see, so I put Children's Health Insurance Program, I'm coming in here. And now I have a whole overview of this program with financial and eligibility, time phasing of assistance, and so on. So you'll see like the next question is list the stated objectives, right? So list the stated objectives is right here at the top. Overview objectives. Okay. The next thing I want to show you is Google Advanced Search. So we're going to go in here. So to get to the advanced search, you go into settings, go down to advanced search. And then I'm going to do Social Security and advanced search. And so you can see State Children's Health Insurance Program. And so it's a Social Security program. And you can see the law down here too. This is one of the things that I liked about it. But you can see payments, process, annual reports. It's a really great resource. And here, Chapter 7, Title 42. Something that I thought was really cool is, let's see, what is that? Legal Information Institute. So if you go here, there's an open access way that you can find all these codes. So if you go here, US code, and then down to Title 42, which is what we just found on the Social Security. We get here, Chapter 7, so Social Security. And then down to 21, State Children's Health Insurance Program. And it's just like a nice little path that you can take, and you can go into all of these as well. But they've created a really great resource that you can explore. Okay. So enacting legislation. So if we go here, and I want to show you how to do a nexus search. So that's going to be important for doing legal research. So go to databases A to Z, and then we can either go to social work in the subject area like we did before, or we can come down here to Nexus, find it that way. Nexus Uni. And so this can be a kind of complicated site to use. So what you want to do is go here and statutes and legislation. So what we looked at before was federal. Now let's look at the Pennsylvania. So we're going to go to cases and codes. Down here to Pennsylvania. And search. Oops, I have to put the search terms in. copy that so I don't have to type it out anymore. Okay, and so then you see here, I know that this one is the one we're looking for. No, that wasn't it. Here. And you can find the state codes and law. And what's great about this site when you use Nexus is you can get the citation. So we can export the citation, do APA style or whatever style you're using, probably APA, I'm guessing. And then you just copy and you paste this into your paper or into your analysis. Now you do need to make sure that this is going to be right. You have to make sure because there's a lot of mistakes in these in the databases. But it is one of my favorite thing of the library databases is that you can get these citations, not for all of them, but for a lot of them. Okay. Move on to another one. So the next question was, who is eligible for the benefits? And you would go back to the assistance listings. So that's kind of what I was saying is you're going to find a lot of the information on this page here. To what benefits are the recipient entitled? You'll also find that on this page. Let's look down. Okay, the source of funding. To trace the flow of the source of funding. So you're going to need to do research in a couple different places. But for this one, we're going to go into Kresman Library again and do with quotations. State supplementation and then search. Now the quotations mean that it's going to look for those words right next to each other. So it's not just looking for state somewhere and supplementation somewhere, because if I didn't use those quotations, I would get very different results. So, but I get here the information. I can view the full text. I can download the entire publication. And this is going to have a lot of information about funding. So you're just going to need to explore this. Something else you can do is look through the Pennsylvania budget. So Commonwealth budget. Come down here. Executive budget. So this is for 21-22. Children's health insurance. And you can see you can get a lot of really great numbers. It's all over. And so when you're tracing it, you can see here the cigarette tax is one place where if you're tracing it from the taxpayer to the program, you're going to get a lot of really great information here. Okay, what is another thing? It's another site that I can show you. Okay. I'm going to show you GAO Accountability Office. So Children's Health Insurance Program, put that in. So this is the Government Accountability Office. And you can see if I'm looking for, are they meeting their objective? I have articles here that I can search. Children's Health Insurance Program, efforts to measure and address, Children's Health Insurance Program, state implementation, and so on. And you can research this. Another way to do research would be to go in to the library website again and back to the databases, all subjects, social work. Let's do that again. Let's go into psych info and put that in, and you see Children's Health Insurance Program, and you can see the impact of the state's children's health insurance, and you can keep on limiting it too. So if you only want research from the last 10 years, you can do that. If you only want full text articles, you can do that. So if we were going to go into one, just to show you how this looks, because I'm not sure where you are in your process, but so you have the article. Then down here, you have an abstract. The abstract is what you read to figure out if you want to look at the article at all. If you do, then you can find the linked text over here on the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side, you can see all different kind of tools that you can use. So Google Drive, add to folder, email. You're going to be wanting to keep your research as you do it, or else you're going to lose it, because this is kind of meticulous, detailed research. And you think that you'll be able to come back to it later. It's this really great, it's perfect, you'll find it really easy later, but then later you'll spend 2 hours looking for it and won't find it. So make sure you're keeping your research as you go along. Emailing yourself if you're in a real big hurry. You can create a list of links. If you create a list of links, make sure you do not get this link up here, because this link is just going to take you to an empty search page. What you need is the permanent link. And so you get the permanent link and you'd copy this and paste it into your list. You don't want to lose your research. You don't want to get a whole bunch of empty links. And this is something that you want to make sure as you go through lots of the databases. You always want to make sure you have the right link, that everything goes to what you thought it was, that something got emailed to you. Just double check these things so you don't lose your work. It seems like it takes more time, but it's going to take more time when you lose your work. My favorite button is the Cite button. We go to Cite, go down to APA, you copy this, you paste it into your document. Again, you have to make sure that it's right. But it is a really great start and better to do than, it's a lot easier than building it from scratch. Okay. So that's kind of a general idea of everything that there is. I'm going to go back to the research guide with all of the links. So research guides, come down here to social work. And here. So here you'll find all the links that I went to and also many, many more that are going to help you go. And so what you're just going to need to do is look into your program specifically. And so then as I understand it, what I do is like in a week, I'll give you a more detailed description of the project with the specific websites and everything. But for here, you have this and you can explore that too. Are there any questions? I'll like stop sharing for a second. Okay. What kind of questions do you have?
I have one. On the
Okay.
screen, could you explain, because I know I found it really, really helpful. Could you explain a little bit more about the Congressional Research Service?
Congressional research. So which one did you mean? Let's see.
You had it was on the previous screen of resources.
Let me go back to here.
I mean, I can tell what little I knew about it, but you probably know more.
Probably not. Let's see. So the last one I was looking at was.
No, go back one screen. It's where you just were. You had it as a list of resources.
Oh, the list of resources. Oh, okay. So where is it? Here it is.
Okay, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's that one.
Okay, so click on this one. So publishing reports by Congress's think tank. You can put search reports for, let's paste. So if you want to get opinion items, if you want to find overviews, you can find that here. You can see how much is here, and also pay attention to the dates.
Yeah, I found when I've done research, they're really, really helpful because they're written just for Congress. And prior to this, we didn't have access to it, the general public. But if a vote's coming up on, say, the CHIP program, and the congressman knows nothing about it, they can ask the Congressional Research Service, the Library of Congress, to crank out a brief for them and gives them the whole program, soup to nuts. So.
Yeah, no, that's really nice. There was another one. Let's see. So you can see U.S. government publishing. Let's see. Is that where I was looking? Actually, no, but here's another place to look. That didn't work. Go back down. Catalog of government publications. Yeah, you can just see, so congressional publications. There's just, yeah, like you were saying, Maynard, this stuff is just, there's just so much information and it's now online now. Did you have any more questions? And so this is a learning process. So this was a really good exercise for me because I've never done policy research before. So I'm learning as I go along. So I can tell you that research in general is a frustrating experience, but don't think that you're not good at it, right? It's just a slow kind of meticulous process. And you go along and you get better at as you go along too. It's hard even for those that have been doing it, of us that have been doing it for years. Do we have any questions? Should I stop sharing? Let's see. And I can go into the library resources too. We can talk about that. And remember, we're all available too. The librarians, you can make an appointment with us. So Sherry or Nicole, me, Nanette, any one of us can meet with you, and we'll sit down with you and your program and kind of help you get started too. And it's easier when you can see the other people. I always find this a little disconcerting when it's just a sea of little black squares.
See, I'm used to teaching where you see blank expressions all the time.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of the same. But at least you know they're there. Oh, visual learner, so this is perfect for you. Well, I'm really glad to see that you're finding it useful. Remember, everything's on that research guide, and hopefully we've made a lot of changes to Sorry, we're having some drama out there. I'm sorry if you can hear it. But so we have the research guides, and we've made changes to the website to make it easier to use. And there's the chat function and so on. Any other questions? It's the fun of working with your kids in the background all of the time now.
I'll bet they'll have a lot of questions once it gets started.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And so how Mary Beth used to do it, she would, a week later, she would send that worksheet out to everyone. Okay.
But
So I can
to do it. That was just Mary Beth's thing. So.
Oh, well, I can do that too. I've been going along and doing it and changing some of the websites and just updating links and things. So I think that that'll help a little bit. And it does give you a step-by-step process. So it's really nice what she did. Yeah, and so as you go about it, you'll have a lot more questions. And this was just a very, very general overview. So
I can feel the excitement.
I know, right? So much. And that's all I have if you don't have anything for me.
Last chance to catch Stephanie now.
I'm at the library. You can email me. You can find my email on the website and so on. So,
are there particular days and times that are better for you?
Well, I'm in the library Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I was in there today too. So I'm always there on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but all day long, every day. The weekends, it'll take me a little while to get back to you. Yeah.
Anything else for Stephanie?
Not right now. Okay.
Hey, thank you so much, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Very helpful.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
I hope it was helpful. See y'all later. Thank you for having me. Bye.
Bye. Okay, so do you guys have any questions for me about the framework now that we've gone over the whole thing?
I don't. I think this is going to help a lot because I'm always lost with the library area and seeing it and going it step by step because I was doing it in my computer as well. So I think this is going to help a lot.
Yeah, it's well said, and it can be overwhelming when you see all these resources. And that's why I'm glad Stephanie's going to follow up with what Mary Beth used to do. She actually takes the entire framework and goes through it item by item and shows you resources. Now they're going to be generic, so they're going to more or less apply to each of your different programs, but they'll get you in the right ballpark every time to find the information. So, you know, it seems daunting at first, but she's absolutely right. Once you start wading into it, you get a handle on it, you'll be fine. I would also emphasize her point. She's absolutely right. You know, it's important to kind of familiarize yourself with the whole framework so that as you're doing the research, you say, wait a minute, I need that for some other section. Hang on to it, you know, do the permalink, whatever you want to do, but file it away so you have to go back and find it again. And you'll just save yourself so much time in the long run. So. This is doable. I once had a class full of chimps and they could do this. So I know you guys can do it. Really made it a class full of chimps? Yes, it was havoc in the classroom, but they still got the analysis done. Anything else? Because if not, I was going to end class and let you begin working on it if you wish. Just a reminder, next Monday, Synopses are due, so get the first half batch in or spend some time tonight working on those. At least you got that out of the way. The following week, let's see, that would be March 12th. I got these dates right. Well, something like that. No, March 9th. There is a letter to the representative or congressman to, we'll go over that. It doesn't take long to bang that out. So you got enough to think about right now. We'll talk about that next week. Anything else? If not, you are good to go. I got this recorded so you can refer back to it again. It always takes me a little while to process it and get it on board. I don't know if you noticed, but under the framework, I do have part 1, part 2, the 2 nights that I went over the analysis. That's there for you to refer back onto as well. Okay, remember, think of this as fun.
It's definitely not.
Come on, it will be. Once you get into it, like I said, when you get done with this, I know you're all going to feel real good about yourselves, about what you accomplished here and how much you understand policy. And I promise you, you will never do anything in grad school this demanding in policy. So you got this. You are good to go when you get to grad school. I already get some feedback from some of the students who are at some of the, shall we say, more elite universities, and they're all going, we got this, Maynard, because you tortured us enough when we were at Cedar Crest. So no extra charge for that. So, all right. Have fun tonight. I'll see you all again next week.
Good night, Maynard.
Bye.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye, Maynard.
My pleasure.